Word
Trust
Insights.
and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Hi, my name is Sarah Ojo, and my alias is Tipsy for Jesus. Welcome to Word Insight. Today's topic is about obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I welcome you once again to this wonderful program, and I hope that you get blessed with the little that I have to share with you today. God bless you. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our TikTok account for contents like this. You can also like, share, and comment on all these videos we are making, especially this one. I would love to hear your feedback, your contribution, you know, your um, your addition, or even if it's to, I mean, disagree with me, I don't mind. And I promise that I will be reading the comments and be replying as much as I can. I can. God bless you. Now, like I said, obedience is better than sacrifice. This topic is very, very dear to me because it actually ministered to me. Some time ago, when I was worshiping in a particular church, and I had some challenges, especially with my health. It was actually an attack. And when I got a little better, I decided to go back to the church. During the time that I was struggling with my health, I really didn't see the church support that much. As a matter of fact, most of them, I heard later that some of my friends in the choir department were actually making fun of me. But that's to be expected as human being for you. But that's by the side. Now, what I am trying to actually point out is this: obedience is very, very key when you're dealing with God. That's why I always tell people try as much as you can in your dealing with God or in your walk with God. You have to try to be in tune with Him. A lot of us, we are so much in a hurry, we have so much to do that we don't have time to hear God when He speaks. You understand? It's a skill. Should I call it a skill? I think it's something that we can all work on and, you know, try to be good at hearing for God. It is important because in this journey that we are on, we really need God at every point in our lives because you can't do it alone. Devil is not smiling and he's not happy with us. He will do everything he can to make sure that he negates all the purposes of God concerning our lives. So we have to be a step ahead of him always. And we can't do that without God talking to us. So that is why we have to be in tune with God at every point in our life. And not just be in tune, we must also try as much as we can. Not even try. We must also obey to the letter. Obedience is very key when we are dealing with God. Because a little disobedience to just a little of His word can make or mar us. Now, I was citing my example from the book of First Samuel, chapter 15, verse 22. That is where actually the phrase obedience is better than sacrifice was coined. You know, it has to do with King Saul. He was the first king of Israel. So Prophet Samuel went to him because it was during the time of Judges then. They had, God was always giving them prophets that they could consult, that could pray to God and hear God for them. And then he would tell them the mind of God. So King Saul was the chosen king then. And he was actually anointed by Samuel through God. He was anointed by God through Samuel. So Samuel went to King Saul and told him that he had to go and fight the Amalekites, that their time was up and God was really angry with them. And God told him to destroy them utterly. without sparing anything nor anyone. Everything had to be destroyed because God said that their sin was too much and He didn't want it to bubble over. So if He spared anything, everything in that country had become forbidden to God. So God had to destroy it all, including the children, as it was then. Anyway, Saul now went to the battle, took his men with him, and they got there and they killed whom they chose to kill and spare whom they chose to spare. Back, happy that they were victorious. And then Prophet Samuel now came and was asking him what is going on. They could hear the bleatings of cattle and rams and such. And then Saul was like, he had done what God asked him to do. He had gone to the Amalekites, he had destroyed them. And then Samuel was like, so what are the bleatings that I'm hearing in your backyard? And it was like, when we got there, my men, they saw that their rams were fat, their cattle were bulky, and they just thought we should spare these ones so we can use them to sacrifice to your God. And Samuel was wroth, he was hungry, he was indignant. And was like, I told you that God said you should go there and destroy everything utterly, sparing nothing. How dare you go there and then do what you liked? Because of this. As a matter of fact, he even spared their king. He did not kill the king. He brought him over. I don't know why he did that anyway. So Samuel was like, because of this, your disobedience, God has rejected you. This was supposed to be like a test that God wanted to see your heart, to see if you were actually wholly following Him. But because of what you have done, God has rejected you and rejected your kingdom, that it will be taken away from you and given to your neighbor. And it was like, wow. And then Samuel now told him to bring the king that he spared. And in his presence, Samuel killed the king right there. And then that was how he lost the kingdom. That was how he lost his kingship, because of a little disobedience. He thought that he was actually obeying, but he did not obey to the letter. He did not obey the full command. He spared some and killed some. When we are dealing with God, God doesn't want this. If He tells you, do this, just do it without using your own mind or reasoning in your own way and trying to, show God that God didn't know what He was doing. It was the one that told you to go there and destroy. He knew what He was doing when He gave you that command. All you had to do was obey. So, during the time that I had these health challenges, I became a little better, not fully better, just a little better. So I went back to church. And one of the days that the pastor was ministering, I had no issue with the pastor. The pastor was ministering, and as he was ministering, I was taken into like a trance, and the Holy Spirit was actually ministering to me, and he now referenced me to the story of Jesus Christ when he was an infant. And the angel was during the time of Herod, and when Herod heard that a new king had been born, those 3 wise men, they went to Herod first to tell him that they saw that there was a new king that had been born, and they wanted to come and pay their homage. So Herod knew that there was a king. There was a king that has been born, and he didn't want anybody to take his throne from him. If he was going to die, he had to be his son that would take over. So he now decided that he was going to kill all the infants at that time. And the angel of God now told Joseph to take the child and escape to Egypt so that he could spare the child. And as I was sitting down in that service and listening to the Holy Spirit minister to me, and the Holy Spirit was like, do you know that if Joseph had disobeyed and be like, no, Jesus Christ is God, why would I be running away with him? You know that Jesus would have been killed in his infancy? We'll continue this in our next episode. God bless you.